Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Blessing again. Have you missed me? Because I've missed you too. If you have not missed me, you are missing out. Okay, you are missing out. It means you're not subscribed to the channel, so click the red subscribe button at the bottom of the screen and let's become family. Okay, today is going to be telling you about Yoruba movies that you need to watch that are going to not only help you with learning the language, but they're also going to help you with learning the culture. Okay, listen, I listen to your requests. I listen to what you want. So if you haven't seen the first video that I made, I gave you 4 Yoruba movies to watch to learn the language. I'll link it in the pause above. I'll link it down below. I go through 4 videos that are modern, normal videos. But since making that video, I've actually thought about some of the Yoruba movies that I used to watch and I used to love growing up, and I'm just like, why am I not telling you guys about these movies? Because these movies are really good. Let's not talk too much, let's get into it. The first movie that I want to talk about is one that is not so much about culture because it's not actually that old, but it's such a quality movie, like the substance, 100. However you judge a movie, 100. Obviously it's an old movie, so the quality is not going to be, the same as the movies being made nowadays, but it's a good movie. And one of the reasons why I'm actually even recommending it to you guys is because a lot of the people that are in the movie are not even Yoruba people. They are either English speaking actors or Igbo speaking actors who have learned Yoruba. But I just thought it would be really good inspiration for you guys because you get to actually see people that didn't grow up speaking Yoruba speak Yoruba. So it just gives you hope that you can also learn to speak Yoruba that well. So the movie is actually mixed between English and Yoruba. It's not fully, completely in Yoruba, which is also good because you won't feel lost. You'll be able to relate to some of the English words. And it basically follows the life of a lady. She's a human rights activist and she has a daughter. And she lived with her ailing mother. Her story just kind of focuses on explaining her life prior to becoming a single mother and how she became a human rights activist and why she became a human rights activist. And then once they explore that, she falls in love and gets married, and then things take a dark turn when her husband gets nominated to become the president of Nigeria. So it does have like a little political undertone. I love that movie. Even the soundtrack, there's a lot of songs in Yoruba in the soundtrack. It's a really good movie, so you should definitely watch it. By the way, I have a playlist of all these movies and even some other movies, some old school movies, and I'm going to leave the playlist down below. So everything is on YouTube. You can watch it all on YouTube. The second movie that I'm going to be talking about is another one that I love and you are going to love. If you want to know about the Yoruba culture, you want to know about what was happening in Yoruba culture in the 1970s, this is the movie for you. And the movie is called Oleku. This one's a little bit longer than Oyato, but honestly, it's so worth it. This movie was so influential to Yoruba culture that the movie actually influenced Yoruba fashion. So I don't know if you've ever heard of like a Nigerian traditional attire, Yoruba traditional attire. It's called Oleku, and it's a style of wearing Iro and Buba that's short-sleeved based on the kind of dressing they wore in the movies. Oleku is actually a story written by, I'm going to put his name on the screen because I don't want to give you wrong information, a professor. And a lot of wonderful stories were written, and Mr. Tunde Kelani, who is the director, cinematographer, producer of this movie, actually turned a lot of these written novels into film. A lot of the movies I'm going to tell you in this list came from him. He did the damn thing, okay? The movie is very beautiful. You hear a lot of Yoruba songs, a lot of poems. If you're into poems and art in Yoruba, this is for you. You see some Yoruba dances, you see some Yoruba outfits. So okay, let me just explain to you what it is because I'm really droning on. The movie is about a Casanova, if you will. If you ever wondered where the phrase Yoruba demon came from, this guy is a very epic embodiment of the term Yoruba demon. I'm not saying Yoruba men are demons though, because chances are I'm going to marry one and he's not going to be a demon, but I'm just saying basically we follow the story of the main character, and he has 3 love interests basically, and so we follow their love story. It's a bit of a Casanova. We're initially introduced to Ashake, who is his love, who we believe, he's in love with her. But then, he has a bit of a wandering eye, and so he sees somebody else, and then he sees somebody else. And so the movie just kind of takes us on the journey of the love story of him and these three women. And honestly, it's amazing. Now, I don't want to ruin it for you, but basically the novel itself, the novel that the film is based on, is a tragedy. I am not sure if he chose to go with the way the novel ended, or if he just gives a glimpse of, I don't know. But when you watch it, come back and let me know what you thought of the ending. But honestly, it had me in my feels. Okay, it had me in my feels. So with this movie, you're gonna get suspense, you're gonna get quality, you're gonna get poems, you're gonna get, and obviously the Yoruba is authentic. So if you're looking for strong, authentic Yoruba that's still relatable, this is the movie for you. Okay, so another amazing movie by Mr. Tunde Kelani is Saworuide. And oh my gosh, this was one of the movies I used to watch growing up. And this one is the ultimate cultural movie. If you're looking for culture, as in how they crown kings, as in dances, outfits, what they used to wear, all the chants. If you're looking for chants, if you want to hear about the talking drum, so Shawarede is a talking drum. And basically, this talking drum has certain powers. The town, Ilu Jogbo, basically the king of that town is not someone that's going to be wealthy, because they believe that the king should be doing the people's bidding. His main focus should be about the people. The king of the town dies, and a new king comes, and he says, listen, I'm all about the money. I didn't come here for doing all this bidding. I want to make money. So he tells them that he doesn't want to perform the traditional rites. Obviously, that means he exposes himself to further problems in the future. Now, there's someone else who has claim to the throne, and his name is Aresa Jabata. So Aresa Jabata is a young child when, assassins come into his house and kill both his parents. He runs to his grandpa, who quickly takes him out of the city. So that is the setting to the movie. A new king is enthroned. He wants to get rid of any potential opposition, so he kills the person that should become king. But the hired assassins don't kill the person's son. The person's son runs to the grandpa, who takes him out of the town, and they run away and become outcasts. And then so the rest of the movie kind of just follows this king and his greed, how he kind of just mistreats his people and just does awful things. And one of the custodians of the Yoruba history, Mr. Adebayo Faleti, or Baba Adebayo Faleti, is in this movie, and he just gives us a lot of wise words, a lot of information about the Yoruba culture. If you want to know a lot about the culture, if you want to see Ijinle Yoruba, as in deep Yoruba, the original Yoruba, not this modern twist that we're now speaking, this movie is for you. If you're obsessed with the culture, you want to know what exactly was going on, what exactly was it like back in the days, all that kind of stuff. Sawarede is for you. You'll see dancing. They have dance competitions, Yoruba traditional dances. You'll see the way they dress, how the palace was, how the queen dresses, how the king dresses, all that kind of stuff. It also has a little bit of political undertones. Mr. Tunde Kelani definitely used his movies to make some sort of political statements, but honestly, it's an amazing movie. You're gonna love it. And speaking of Sawarede, that leads us on to another movie, which is Googooing War. Googooing War is a continuation of Sawarede, so I'm not gonna really tell you so much about the storyline because I don't want to ruin Sawarede for you, but just know that it's a continuation of what happens at the end of Sawarede. And personally, Googooing War was not as interesting for me as Sawarede was. I felt like it dragged on too long. Also, they didn't upload it as one solid movie. They uploaded it in bits and pieces, in 10-minute clips. So you're gonna have to keep finish watching a clip, watch a new clip. The new clip shows a bit of the old clip. It gets quite tiresome, but if you want to watch it in bits, it allows you to do that. Personally, I didn't enjoy it as much in terms of it being a movie, but if you're still watching for culture, you want to hear some proverbs, you still want to see more Yoruba cultural life, then definitely Googooing War is one that you'll love. Last but not least, another one of my favorite movies that I watched growing up. This one is quite long, but it is a star-studded movie that will pull your heartstrings. I don't even need to watch this one again to know that I was in my feels. Anytime I watched it, I've watched it maybe like 4 times in my life. Like, I've watched it a lot and I love it so much. Madame Dearest, okay, Madame Dearest. And basically it's about this man who is a very moralistic, ethical man, and he's going home one day and like people flag down his car and a man has been hit by the side of the road and they're saying, please help us, he needs to get to the hospital, he's a victim of a hit and run accident, like people have been going past, he's been here for ages, please help us take him to the hospital. And as like a good person, he's like, sure, I'll take him to the hospital, like who's gonna come with me? And all the people that were standing by like the guy, the victim, are like, oh, I've got to take my kids to school in the morning, blah, blah, blah. They all give excuses, put this guy, the injured guy, in his car, and they all leave. He's now also, mind you, he's a bit drunk. He's driving around looking for a hospital to take this guy to. The first hospital he goes to says that he has to pay 25,000 for something before they can admit the guy. The second hospital, basically no hospital takes the guy until eventually the guy dies in his car. Eventually he gets to a hospital and he's drunk, so at some point he's like, listen, get this guy from my car, and he passes out on the hospital bench. The hospital calls the police and the police come and arrest him and said, you killed this guy and you brought him to the hospital. Now the plot twist is that the guy, the injured guy, actually happens to be the guy who drove him around the mechanic, and a few weeks or a week prior they had had a disagreement and the guy had, you know, in his anger kind of threatened him and said like, I'm gonna kill you, but you know, like when people speak in the heat of the moment. So obviously the case went to court, they bring all this evidence against him, like he's like, if I killed a guy, why would I put him in my car and drive him around? But it doesn't work and he gets sent to a long time in prison. So the movie then focuses on his life after he's sentenced. Obviously he had a wife before he was sentenced. Honestly, I'm telling you, this movie will have your heartstrings pulled. The movie takes place in Togo, I think it takes place in Benin, it takes place in Ghana, it takes place in Nigeria. The acting is exquisite. I'm even tempted to do just a review video on just that movie alone. The acting is exquisite, okay? I have to go and watch that movie. I'm so in love with it. So if you want to see an amazing movie, this is also by another amazing storyteller, producer. His name is Mr. Tadio Gidon. Madame Dearest is also a movie that is part Yoruba, part English. And so the movie is not fully in Yoruba, which is really good. You'll be able to relate, but I'm telling you, you're gonna thank me. So those are the movies I want to tell you about today. Please, please, please watch them and come back and tell me what you thought. I want to discuss it, okay? These are some of my favorite movies. Let me know what you think of the movies. And let me know your favorite one. If you've seen them before, let me know what you thought of them. And also let us know any recommendations you have for Yoruba movies to watch. I'd love to watch them. I think some of you dropped some in the last video, but if you want to drop it again, please do. If you want me to make like an individual review about the movie, in which case it will contain some spoilers, let me know as well. I'd love to do that. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.
Waterfront, get down, run your waistline. Let me take a swim. Yeah. Step and run the baseline. Get down all the thing.